Hi! City building simulators aren't a genre for those in a hurry. There are no races, explosions, or dramatic cutscenes here. Just you, time, and a city that grows under your hands. This year doesn't bring many big releases from major studios, but it's full of smaller, interesting projects. Not all of them are perfect, yet almost everyone has something that will catch your attention. Let's start with Jurassic World Evolution 3. The third installment of the dinosaur park management sim brings us back to prehistoric chaos, though not always in a good way. On paper, it looks impressive. Procedurally generated islands, terraforming, new biomes, and even dinosaur breeding with offspring. It sounds like true evolution for the series, but the longer you play, the more you realize behind the shiny park facade lie plenty of issues, like unpolished AI and awkward animations. Dinosaurs behave strangely. They don't hunt, don't protect their young, and mostly just crowd around the water. The breeding mechanic feels rushed. Dinosaurs don't build nests or show instincts, they just teleport eggs into a preset texture. Still, it's worth trying. Building, decorating, and managing visitor flow remains as captivating as ever. Surviving Mars, Relaunched. This isn't just a remaster, it's practically a new edition of the classic hit. It includes all the previous DLCs, a reworked engine, and an updated interface. Colonies no longer collapse due to buggy code, and players can finally focus on what they came for, building the perfect city under the Martian domes. The main innovation is the political system. Now your colony's progress depends on the laws you pass, from humanitarian to authoritarian. Each choice affects morale, economy, and relationships among settlers. There are also new buildings like the Naturalist Residence, allowing colonists to live outside domes without losing morale. Airborne Empire. A city builder where your foundation isn't stone, but clouds. Here, you're not constructing a city on land, you're building a flying fleet city that explores a vast open world. You construct buildings, assign professions, gather resources, and fend off sky pirates. Everything you'd expect, just thousands of meters above the ground. The world is massive. Different biomes, settlements on the surface, trade, story quests, and the freedom to roam the skies in search of adventure. The minimalist art style and endless horizon create a sense of calm and wonder, even when pirates attack. Yes, after a dozen hours, the gameplay may feel repetitive, but the concept alone makes it one of the most unique city-building experiences in recent years. Pax Augusta. A love letter to ancient Rome turned into a city-building sim. Everything here breathes history, authentic houses, forums, baths, fields, and workshops, all recreated with stunning detail and logic based on real Roman city layouts. The citizen happiness mechanic revolves around geometry. The closer to the forum and main roads, the higher the prosperity. If you want a thriving district, think like a Roman, how to connect the streets, where to place the market, and how to fit a pottery workshop between noble villas. Add to that seasonal cycles, trade licenses, a title system, and ruler expeditions. Yes, the interface is still rough and city sizes are modest, but the attention to detail and historical authenticity make it a real gem for fans of Caesar 3. Town to City. A rare example of a game where city building feels like pure therapy. There's no rush, no limits, no pressure, just you, a cozy town, and the desire to make it beautiful. Every house can be decorated manually, and each change affects the residents' mood and the city's overall look. In turn, the residents send you requests and complaints. You can develop a single town or connect several into a whole region with trade routes and shared infrastructure. The visual style is light and blocky, yet beautifully lit with soft rays and calm atmosphere. The gentle soundtrack feels made for evenings when you just want to relax, build, and unwind. Whiskerwood. perhaps the most unusual city-building strategy of the year. Here, you're not a god, a mayor, or a settler. You're a mouse sent to build a colony to satisfy your feline masters. At first glance, it looks like a cute fairy tale, but behind that charm hides a hardcore economic simulator focused on automation and production efficiency. You'll set up complex resource chains, install conveyors, and make sure the taxes owed to the cats are paid on time. No romance here, just discipline, calculation, and the struggle for efficiency. Whiskerwood surprises with its depth, changing seasons, tech trees, citizen classes, and professions, even a taxation system that directly affects survival, all wrapped in a stylish yet simple visual design. Farthest Frontier, arguably the most authentic city-building simulator, and one that finally left early access this year. This isn't a cozy sandbox, but a survival experience where every winter, every drought, or outbreak can erase hours of progress. You start with a small group of settlers founding a village in the wilderness. You must manage your crops, rotate fields, fend off pests, and care for villagers with their own habits, moods, and needs. The AI here feels truly alive. Each villager isn't just a number, but part of a living organism where everything is interconnected. After years in early access, the game has grown significantly, adding religious artifacts, traders, new animals, and refined micromanagement systems. It's not for those who want a sprawling metropolis fast. It's a realistic medieval life simulator, demanding but deeply atmospheric. Celestial Empire takes the genre to ancient China, where economy intertwines with faith and tradition. You're not just building homes and factories, you're shaping a balanced world where every detail must serve harmony. Its standout feature is the patron god system. The deity your people worship directly affects the city's growth, productivity, and morale. Prayers and blessings become as valuable as iron or silk. The production chains here are almost Anno-like, long, layered, and logically connected. And the class progression system ensures smooth development. Peasants evolve into craftsmen, craftsmen into scholars, all contributing to the empire's prosperity. Roman Triumph, not just a builder, but a full survival simulator set in ancient Rome, where you must protect your city not only from barbarian invasions, but from the wrath of the gods. The game combines elements of classics like Caesar and Zeus with survival mechanics. Everything matters: food supplies, economic stability, even wall placement, as dragons, hydras, and other mythic beasts may lurk beyond them. The gameplay keeps you constantly on edge. Citizens may strike one day and work together the next, while an angry Jupiter might flood your city if you forget to make an offering. And that's where the charm lies. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and full of life. Pompeii, the Legacy. A rare case where a city builder turns into a meditative historical drama. The story unfolds 20 years after Mount Vesuvius's eruption. You play as a governor tasked with rebuilding the fallen city, slowly turning ruins into a grand center of the ancient world. Each reconstruction phase spans decades, and the choices you make early on echo through generations. You'll have to balance the whims of emperors, the needs of citizens, and the looming threat of barbarian raids. The game impresses with its attention to detail. The architecture, music, and visuals immerse you in the authentic atmosphere of antiquity. 3 modes: campaign, sandbox, and creative let you choose your own rhythm and way to bring Pompeii back to life. Let them trade. This isn't quite a city builder in the traditional sense. It's more like a tabletop strategy come to life. There are no disasters, enemies, or crises here, just the calm rhythm of trade and the quiet growth of your cities. You choose a location, lay down roads and bridges, plan districts, and then everything runs on its own. Citizens trade, warehouses fill up, gold flows into the treasury, and you simply watch the world breathe. Sometimes you'll adjust trade routes or priorities, but most of the time you just enjoy the rhythm of life. Yes, the campaign is short, and the construction lacks the depth of classic city builders, but Let Them Trade makes up for it with atmosphere. Its visual style resembles a board game. Tiny castles, fields, ships, even the interface feels like part of the miniature world. KAISERPUNK takes us to an alternate Europe where World War I never ended. The world is fractured into city-states, and you become the ruler of one, developing industry, researching technologies, and slowly building your own empire. It's not just a city builder, it's a hybrid of Anno and Europa Universalis. You'll need to construct factories, meet the people's needs, make political decisions, negotiate diplomatically, raise armies, and fight for territories. The strongest part of the game is its atmosphere. Factories roar, airships patrol the skies, and the city is shrouded in the smoke of the industrial age. Settlements rising. The kind of city builder that doesn't promise revolutions, but delivers exactly what you want. Steady growth, clear mechanics, and the cozy charm of a medieval village. You start with a few huts and workers and end up managing dozens of professions, crafts, and production chains. The game avoids excessive micromanagement. Everything is logical and intuitive. Your citizens gather resources, refine them, trade, build, and evolve alongside your city. It's a warm, down-to-earth builder, simple, clear, and satisfying, with a friendly interface, pleasant visuals, and a tangible sense of progress. Worshippers of Cthulhu, a city-building strategy for those who think roads and lanterns aren't enough. Here, the mayor is a cult priest, the church is a temple of horror, and taxes come in the form of blood sacrifices to ancient gods. The game combines Anno-style management with a dark Lovecraftian setting. You build a colony of fanatics, organize production, assign cultists to roles, and make sure their faith never fades. Everything revolves around one goal: feeding the hunger of the great Cthulhu. It's packed with details. Citizens have specializations, totems demand offerings, rituals unlock new powers, and wrong decisions can doom the entire settlement. The atmosphere is top-notch: eternal night, thick fog, whispers in the dark, and the constant dread that one mistake could awaken something unspeakable. Endzone 2. A post-apocalyptic city-building simulator where cozy streets and parks are replaced by ruins, radiation, and the endless struggle to survive. After the catastrophe, humanity clings to life on scattered islands connected by trade routes. Caravans of heavy vehicles replace ships, and between expeditions, you personally explore abandoned zones in search of resources and lost technologies. The research system has been overhauled. Now every building must be unlocked manually, and progress comes through mini-games and expeditions. Some might find it tiring, but these details create a real sense of being on an expedition through a dying world. The game looks better, feels larger, and plays like a hybrid of Anno 2070 and Frostpunk. Only here, ice is replaced by dust, heat, and radioactive sand. Islanders, New Shores. The complete opposite of everything heavy or grim. No crises, no enemies, no disasters, just islands, the sea, and the pure joy of building. The sequel to the beloved minimalist city builder has become brighter, deeper, and more varied. Buildings now connect smoothly with one another, new biomes and platforms allow for creative combinations, and you can score massive point chains. The gameplay is simple. Place structures so they boost each other, unlock new sets, move to the next island, and repeat endlessly. But behind that simplicity lies a surprisingly elegant design that turns every session into a meditative, creative flow. Cataclismo. After the Great Mist turned people into monsters, the last remnants of humanity hide behind the walls of the final city. You build fortresses, command soldiers, and reclaim the world from the darkness step by step. What makes Cataclismo stand out is its brick-by-brick construction system. Every wall, tower, and bridge is built manually like Lego and physics matter. If enemies break the bottom block, the entire structure collapses. By day, you gather resources and engineer defenses. By night, you endure sieges and the howls of creatures in the fog. It's a blend of strategy, tower defense, and city building, tense, creative, and unique. House of Legacy takes us to ancient China and turns traditional city building into a dynasty simulator. You lead a family line that grows, marries, plots, builds estates, and fights for power within the imperial court. Everything matters: architecture, trade, marriages, education, and political alliances. Each stage of the clan's life is a new chapter. You begin managing a small village, expand to provinces, and eventually reach the palace itself. It's like Crusader kings in an Eastern setting, full of court intrigue, exams, family drama, and even the possibility of seizing the throne. The game combines meditative construction, resource management, and light RPG elements. Family members gain traits, age, die, and leave descendants to carry on the legacy. MEMORIAPOLIS, an ambitious strategy that lets you guide humanity from antiquity to the industrial age, over 2,500 years of history within a single evolving city. Each era brings new technologies, architecture, and social systems. You start with Roman villas and forums, move through medieval markets and cathedrals, and end with factories and smoky industrial districts. It feels like creating a living chronicle of civilization. Your city becomes history itself. Yes, the project is still rough, but it has soul. MEMORIAPOLIS isn't just a city builder. It's an attempt to unite the past, present, and future into one living metropolis. Anno 117, Pax Romana. The long-awaited new chapter in the legendary series takes us to the height of the Roman Empire. You play as a governor charged with developing the provinces of Latium and Albion, building cities, managing the economy, resolving political conflicts, and maintaining balance between order and ambition. The Anno series has always been about harmony between beauty, logic, and rhythm. Pax Romana preserves that essence. With over 50 buildings, multiple unique factions, lengthy campaigns, and even co-op multiplayer, it feels grand in every sense. Critics note that the game is simpler than Anno 1800 and its battles less engaging, but visually, it's one of the most stunning city builders in recent years. When you look at all these games, you realize the perfect city doesn't exist, but there are countless ways to build your own. Each of these games has its own scale, its own ideas, and even if none of them reach the heights of Anno 1800, almost everyone offers what makes city builders special: the chance to escape for a while and create a place where everything goes exactly the way you want it to. The Image Game Channel was with you. Have a nice day.